Hi, listener. This is the Work with A.F.I podcast. My name is A.F.I and I am your host. If this is your first time on this podcast, hi, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, hey, welcome back. How are you guys doing? I'm so glad you guys are joining in to listen to this episode of A Work with A.F.I once again. Okay, so I hope the month of August has been a great month to you guys, because honestly, the month of August has been wonderful to me, and I've been doing a lot of thinking in this month. There's this particular thought that has actually preoccupied my mind, and that's what we are going to talk about today. So my thoughts have been on why do we sometimes end up not doing the things that we really want to do, like a desire, like a passion, something that really at some point you wanted to go all out for, but at the end of the day it didn't work out well. And it did not work out not because you didn't want it to work out, but because of other people's opinion, what they said, their own, them projecting their fears and all of those things on you. And you felt like, okay, maybe I should just let it slide and just let it go. Well, I think at some point in our lives, we've all been in that place. And honestly, I can tell you, I've been there so many times. And because of my experience with that, I've actually realized that you can't keep on doing this. Honestly, you can't keep on doing this to yourself, because the more you do it, the more regrets you will later come back to in the future. And there are 3 questions from my thoughts, and I'll just share those 3 questions. And the questions are these. Okay, so 1, what's the worst thing that could happen if I pursue my desires and other people are against it, like they disagree? And another question is, what's the best thing that could happen if I take the leap and follow my desires? And now, the last but not the least question is, how do I overcome the fears of other people's opinion? And I'm very sure at the end of this episode, I'll be able to give answers to all of these questions. And yeah, so the first question that talks about the worst thing that could happen, honestly speaking, I think personally the worst thing that could happen is for what I want, that my desire, that my passion not to go well, not to go the way I actually wanted or anticipated, right? And for those people to come back and say, I told you not to do it, I told you not to venture into it, I told you it's not a good step, now you're all alone, I'm not part of this rubbish, blah blah blah, deal with it yourself, I wash my hands. But okay, I think that's the worst thing that could happen. That's the worst, for you not to work out, and for those people to come back and come and rub it in, like you get to come and rub salt on my injury. I think that's the worst thing that could happen. But I want you to know that there's a cost for conformity. I mean, there are consequences for you complying to other people's standard that is actually against your own standard. I mean, it's not bad for people to give you advice. It's not bad for people to tell you this step that you want to take, I don't think it's the right thing to do, because I've been there and it went like this for me. Now it's left for me to take in whatever you're saying, to go and dissect it, digest it, break it down, and put back the pieces for my own life. But it's wrong for people to just come and project their fears and their opinions on us just because it didn't work out for them. If we keep on allowing these things to happen, I will tell you that one of the price that you have to pay is missed opportunities. You will always miss a lot of opportunities. I've heard stories of people that did what their parents wanted and then come back to come and drop the certificate. I heard a story of a popular guy in my place. His parents wanted him to study medicine and he wanted to do law, so he went to school to study medicine, and when he was done, he came back home, told the dad and mom, thank you so much for seeing me through the process of being a medical student, and then he dropped the certificates and told them, I'm not going to use this, now I want to pursue my own passion, I want to go into what I really want to do. And this guy went back to school to go and study law. Just imagine that time that I was studying medicine, he actually studied the law that he wanted, and when he was done with school, he came back. I'm very sure there would have been a lot of opportunities for him to take up and like do well in what you wanted to do, right? But no, that was not the case. This guy had to start all over. Why? Can you imagine the years that this guy wasted in school? To me, it's wasted time, wasted years, and all of those things just because somebody tried to project their own fears and opinion on him. So one thing is, you are bound to miss a lot of opportunities when you keep complying to other people's standard. You keep conforming to other people's standard, and you don't even give any regard to what you want and what your standard is. Let me also say this, that you will end up having a lot of regrets and what ifs. What if I had done it this way? It's very funny that we want to do things and then at the end of the day we didn't do it, and the result is really not making sense at all. And then we ask ourselves, what if I had done it this way? It would have probably bring a different result entirely. And the weight is not something that is that easy to put off, right? Like, it's very crazy because it suffocates your growth. The overall thing is it suffocates your growth. And I think we need to understand that growth is not something that happens by mistake or it happens all of a sudden. It's a gradual process. For a plant to actually grow, germinate, bear fruit, or I can get mango fruit from this tree and all of this, that plant had to die and have to go through the process of it might grow, it might not grow. But at the end of the day, the tenacity of the farmer brings forth what the farmer actually wanted, right? So I think we should see growth in that light. That is, we are planting something, and if it works out, if it doesn't work out, there's still a lot of lessons to learn. There's still a lot of growth that is happening, even though the plant did not germinate. As a farmer that planted that seed, you've learned a lot of things from that scenario that happened. So I think rather than fear of what people will say, the fear of people's opinion, what we really want, rather than that fear, we should channel our energy on working that thing through. At the end of the day, it is important that you embrace yourself and what you want. The advantage is more than the disadvantage, because one of the advantages, it helps to build your confidence. So I remember that when I was in secondary school, before I even got to secondary school, a lot of people tell me that I talk too much. They say, you talk too much, you're talkative, can't you keep quiet, blah blah blah. When you talk too much, you will not be able to think. Hi, Jesus Christ, are you guys for me? Just because I love to talk, you guys think it's a crime, and everybody starts to make me feel like talking is a crime, so I have to be keeping quiet, I have to be, I don't know. And it was actually working. It was actually working. I created a shell that I'll just go into the shell, and just sometimes I'll just come out of it. When I'm around people that really understand, that will not blame me, I will not pass a judgment. So at some point, I started picking interest in debate and essay. My essay was top notch in secondary school. It was really great. Sometimes I read those essays I wrote back in secondary school, and I give myself thumbs up, like, I love you. You don't get that kind of thing. So because of that, most of the times I go out of school for debates, competition, and all of those. And at some point, people even said it. They even write to my face that she talked too much, blah blah blah. But at that point, I didn't care again, because me going out for debate, engaging in meaningful conversations was giving me a kind of satisfaction that I wasn't getting from whatever they were saying. At that point, like, I didn't really care about what they had to say. Those times now have actually helped me to build confidence, standing in front of a lot of people, to talk to them. They're looking into people's eyes and they're not even afraid. You get that kind of thing. And it has actually, honestly, helped me to build my confidence. Because now I can see you on the road and I just need to ask you for something, and I will come and meet you. Hi, good evening, please. I need, like, it has really helped me to that point. Even my lecturers, when you are saying something, I look into your eyes, because I believe that that's one of the way for you to really get that you are communicating and getting what you say. So I look into people's eyes. Now just imagine that because of the things that have been said about me being talkative and me talking, I did not channel me being outspoken to something really good. It doesn't mean you should be rude or something. You just have a mind of your own, so that you will be able to look into the advantage. Even when they are trying to point out the disadvantages of what you really want to do, you'll be able to weigh it. So one of the advantages is that it helps you to build confidence and personal growth. Like, to me, personal growth is like top notch, because with personal growth you are learning new experiences, you are seeing different aspects of your life that you never even know was existing. Why? Just because you decide to go for what you want. You decide to go all out for that thing that you really, really desire. And if you're somebody like me that naturally, when I have things on my mind, when people are trying to talk me out of something, I'm stressed. You get? Now it will help you when you know how to really take steps yourself without minding whatever people will say. It will help to reduce your stress. It will help to reduce your anxiety. And there are people that actually go into depression because of this. So I watched the movie, and this lady in this movie, she loved a guy that they were coming from different cultural backgrounds, and her mother was totally against their relationship. Do you know this girl fell into addiction because she couldn't talk to her mom? Her mom was not understanding how she was feeling, and because she wanted her mother's opinion over her own, she was sad. You get that kind of thing, and she fell into depression. Now, that happens to a lot of people because you feel like, what would they say? What will they think about me? And all of those. You end up being sad. You end up being alone. You end up not doing that thing that gives you joy and make you feel fulfilled. Let me remind you that they are talking out of their own experience, out of their biases, and out of their decision. If a farmer should plant a seed and that seed did not germinate, would that stop other farmers from planting their own? My dear, no, hell no, it will not stop them from planting theirs. So just look at yourself as a farmer. The fact that somebody did it and it did not work out doesn't mean you will do it and you will fail. Stop. You are not going to fail. Because whether it worked out or not, you are still growing. You are still learning. You get my point. And then there's this thing about meaningful connections. Let me say myself as example. At the end of the day, I realized that there are still people that really, really love the kind of person I am. You understand? I'm not totally an extrovert. I love talking. I love having meaningful conversations. But at the same time, I like my space. I don't like going out. I'm not the life of the party. So I'm both. And I feel it's better to just strike a balance. Now, my own is mostly about personality, about what you want to do and not what you want to do. I really get it. But the truth of the matter is, we need to overcome the fear of other people's opinion. Like, if you want to really be happy in life, if you really want to be happy, I mean, you need to be able to overcome the fear of other people's opinion. And for you to do that, one thing that always stands out for me is making other people's opinion very, very, very subjective. Like, when you make people's opinion to be subjective, you are doing well. In fact, I'm clapping for you from here. You are doing really, really, really well when you make other people's opinion to be subjective, because you are collecting the data. You are collecting whatever this one is saying, whatever this one is saying. Then you are bringing it in. You are sitting. You are dissecting it. You are looking into it promptly. The point is, you can always gain advice. You can always learn from other people's opinion. But don't make other people's opinion to be objective in your life. Rather, make it subjective. Subject it to your own mind. Subject it to what you really, really, really want. Sometimes it might not be too late to go back and do those stuff, but some other times you can't go back. That's just the truth. Some other times it's irredeemable. Some other times you can't go back to redeem it. So it's better for you to do it, not get it right. You learn and get it right other times, rather than you doing it because somebody said you should not do it and you didn't get it right. You know what that will make you? It will make you to be very irresponsible, because you'll not be able to take responsibility for your actions. You will want to look for somebody to blame when you are supposed to take responsibility for your actions. I tell myself, whatever happens, I take full responsibility, because before I decide to take the action, I have a mind of my own. Why did I use that before I take that action? The more we realize that other people's opinions should be subjective, the better it is for us. And then you need to focus on your why. Why this in the first place? Why did you want to be this in the first place? Look at your whys. And when you are looking at the why, the X, and everything, let me tell you this. There will always be reasons why you shouldn't do the good things, and there will always be reasons why you should do them. Now, you should look at the whys, weigh them, and look at the one that stands out. You understand? Look at the ones that at least you will do and you don't have regrets. Even when you have regrets, it will be because you did it and not because somebody pushed you to doing it. And I'll say that you need to develop a growth mindset. Growth mindset will actually help you. It will help you to see challenges. It will help you to see criticism as opportunities rather than a problem that cannot be solved. Fine, I was criticized for talking so much, but at the same time, I was able to look into reasons why people say talkatives are this or that or this or that, and I realized that most people fear ranges from talkatives can't keep secrets. You can't keep anything confidential. Whatever you say to them, just imagine you are talking to a blogger that where people put it out there. When I realized that, I channel whatever you are saying to be a strength and not a weakness. So if they are telling you don't do this, look into the reasons why they are asking you not to do it, and look into the reasons why you wanted to do it in the first place. It will help you to grow, it will help you to learn. And while you are at it, please celebrate your little wins. It doesn't matter if it's not working out right the way you really wanted it to, but it's important that you are making little improvement and progress. And if you are doing that, please celebrate yourself. Tell yourself, look at yourself and say, you are doing well. You know, sometimes I just look at myself and say, A.F.I, I know it's not going the way you anticipated and wanted, but the truth of the matter is you are doing well. You are growing. You will look back, remember these days, and clap for yourself. And you will say to yourself, I'm so proud of you. So why can't I say I'm so proud of myself because I did the things I wanted to do? Don't do it because of their own fears. Make sure whatever you are doing is because of your own reason. And let me leave you with this. When we embrace and pursue our passion, you know what happens? We live a life worthy of emulation, a fulfilling life that inspires others to do the same. So till I see you again on this podcast, as you are taking this wonderful work together. Remember as you go this week, remember as you go this year, whatever you want to do, make sure it is not coming out of the fear of another person that has been projected on you. Make sure it is coming from what you really want to do, from your own mind, from your passion and your desire. And know that I love you and I will always love you. Until I see you again, please take care of yourself. Bye.